Hey y'all, welcome back. Alright, so, my bad. We gotta get back into this story time because it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. So, let's get into where we're at now. So, Melissa has now turned into Melvin and will not let Brittany meet her girlfriend Taurus. Taurus ends up contacting Brittany and informs her that her child has been being neglected. Now, after Melvin had asked for Brittany to drop stuff, Brittany has now decided, no, I'm taking you to court because you're treating my child bad. So, he's been caught because Taurus has reached out to Brittany and they're going to take him to court. Or them to court, I'm sorry. So that's where we're at there. Brittany did give a recap about what kind of things that the kid was going through, but I don't really feel like I want to go down that rabbit hole because it's a little sad. But as y'all can see her username right up there at the top, y'all can watch the story time and watch that video if you do want to get a better idea. But it was bad. Like, she had him staying in the closet and not in a ventilated area, and the door was closed, and it was just not a good situation for a kid, and I don't like that at all. But I don't want to bring the vibe down that much. But we are going to get into some more of the narcissistic things that our buddy Melvin here was doing.
First off, I talked to the second ex-wife, the one that I talked about in part 1 and part 2. Melissa had said that she married that ex-wife because the ex-wife needed insurance, right? The ex-wife has clarified that she did not, in fact, even have Melissa's insurance, and that's a fucking lie. And basically, they got married under the assumption, like anything, that they were in a relationship, and Melissa kept pushing on the concept of having kids with the second ex-wife, and the second ex-wife did not want that. She said they didn't want it. They were vulnerable when they met her. They came down and moved in with her. Same story. Got engaged. Same story. Got married. Justice of the peace. Same story. Didn't change her last name. Same story. And then when Melissa realized that the second ex-wife wasn't going to give them kids, basically already started throwing her away. Basically, so Melissa's on the back end finding somebody else to talk to because now she can't get supply from the ex-wife. Y'all, guess who she finds to talk to? Me. So before the ex-wife later found out, after she found out about me later, that she was moving out of their house or still, they were still breaking up when Melissa met me. And she had the same story as me, where it's like you met this person at your most vulnerable place and they just lied this whole story up for you to feel comfortable, and then later on use that same story against you, make you feel like shit, put you down, make you feel like you can only be with them, don't talk to your friends, don't talk to your families, only love me, only care about me, but I only want you unless you're giving me something, and if you're not giving me something, I don't want you. Oh, and maybe that's just a coincidence. Nope. I obviously, you guys know, am good friends with Taurus, the ex from part 7, and same story. Moved her in, told her, hey, I'm still married, but I really want to be with you. We can get remarried. I'd like to have another kid. Are you willing to have a kid? And it went the way that it went, and then obviously they're not together, and I can't tell you the rest without telling you everything else. But guess what? There's another pattern, because after Taurus, there's somebody else that's willing to catch the supply of this person. And what's crazy is, at this point, I'm doing my best to warn as many women as I can, and they have still managed to be with, I don't know, 4 to 5 people in between the when the divorce started and when the divorce ended. And not only that, a majority of these women were lied to about the fact that Melissa was transitioning. A lot of them said that Melissa was even on dating sites under the lesbian tab and then trying to make it seem like she was still a lesbian, but was on the back end transitioning and would make all these comments about transition, and everyone's like, yeah, like, well, we like girls. And she'd be like, oh, you know, haha, just like gauging it. But she was transitioning and everybody, no one knew it. And the sad part of this story is the women that I talked to met my son. All of them met him. Like, it, you know, it's really sad, and like, obviously, like, I know it's upsetting. It's extremely upsetting to me. But not only did they meet them, they seen the living arrangements that I spoke very poorly on. They all were like, I did not fuck with it. It was not cool. They talked so told me about how bad Melissa talked about me, not just like in front of them, talked down on me, made it seem like I was gonna kill them or I was crazy. I'm talking multiple different women. Multiple different women have met my son. And I know you guys have combed through social media. You're not going to find pictures of my son on the internet or anything like that. All these women talk to Melissa for I don't know how long, not very long, and then meet my child. Meet my child. And based on the synopsis, it seems like my child is the pawn to make people feel comfortable. Oh, look at me. I'm a parent. Look at me, I'm a parent. You can't do nothing but trust me because I'm a parent, right? Look how good of a parent I am. Look how good of a parent I am. Because Melissa's only a good parent if somebody's watching, right? Because that's what narcissists do. This is all for fucking show. All for fucking show. To sit.
She can't be that good of a darn parent if she got the child in the closet. Like, I don't understand how nobody has done anything about that part of it. That's the part that kind of gets me the most. Because that's the part that matters the most.
Here and not even care about what you do and how that affects your child. You don't give a fuck about him. And you don't give a fuck about these women. And I'm happy that these women are coming forward and telling their story. And honestly, I hope that more women continue to tell their story about Melissa/Melvin. Because it's not going to stop. He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop until he finds a supply. He's not going to stop until he finds another wife who's willing to have another kid, who's not going to be strong enough to leave. Because let me tell you something. Every single woman that I've talked to, or just about all of them, we all ended up in this place of being so mentally unwell, so fucking, like, just really struggling to survive. And that person preyed on us. Bad. This is not a little game. This is not like some video or some fun story for clicks. This is people's real life. And like, if you are dealing with the Melissa/Melvin or whatever, you need to protect yourself, watch for the signs, and do what you can. Please don't be like me and have a kid with a fucking narcissist. Please don't be like me. Who the F did I marry? And no, this isn't an...
Yeah, that's what a lot of narcissists end up doing at the end of the day. They just keep repeating the cycle. They always continue to get more and more supply, and then they put them all through the same thing, and then they villainize all of them to where they never speak to each other. They always hate each other, but they'll never know why. It's always got to do with this one common denominator, which is the narc. Now pause the movie, cause what I'm about to... Now pause the movie, cause what...
I know you guys are wanting part 7, and it's Saturday, and I'm super busy, and I promise you I will do my best. But I did want to give a little bit of information, so that way when part 7 comes out, you guys kind of have an understanding of like where we are with this whole thing. So Ashley is my girlfriend, and at the time, Ashley was divorcing Carolyn. Welcome to part 7 of Who the...
Wait.
If you're new here, welcome to part 8 of Who the Did I Marry? So I left off on the part that Melvin is now aware that they're going to court, and Melvin is now aware that Taurus is going to be testifying on my behalf. So of course, what does a narcissist do? He starts trying to make and do little things to try and scare everybody involved. So like I posted on the last video at the end like a message where they're talking to Taurus's mom about like, how could she do this to me? Now I'll have to actually be a real parent. Like, that's crazy to me. And if you haven't seen it, please go look at it. It's ridiculous. So at this point, me and Taurus are building the case, or I really don't have to build a case. I have a case. So really, she's just giving me as much info as she has. And let me tell you, it was crazy how much info she had. But like, I really wanted to focus on the transition thing because it was like just a lack of stability. And the thing that was crazy is like, even in the relationship with Taurus, I'm not going to transition. All I'm going to do is get top surgery. I don't want to transition. I don't want to be a she, her. And like within a week was like, just kidding. I'm gonna make the rest of my gender affirming care, schedule out. Like, just like overnight, like just like on some crazy shit. Like, it was just really weird because I'm trying to understand, like, why are you trying to hide your transition? If this is like your true self, why are you hiding it? And like, why are you being so secretive about it? No one cares about you transitioning. Everyone really just wonders why you can't be honest, why you gotta scam women and saying that you're not doing it when you are. Like, if you aren't comfortable with transitioning, like maybe you don't actually want to, and maybe you're just doing it for the attention. I'm not sure. Who knows? I don't know. So we get to court, and of course, I am with Ashley, my girlfriend, and with Taurus, Melvin's ex-girlfriend, and they are there to, obviously, for support, but also to testify in the event that I need those people to testify. Cool. Y'all, imagine outfits. Melvin comes to court with Caroline by his side. Caroline is Ashley's ex-wife. I don't have my board, and I'm really sorry, but I want to get this done for you. So Melvin shows up with Caroline, and cool. We're in the courtroom. The divorce is agreed upon. Obviously, Melvin, who is representing themselves, is wanting to keep keep everything the same, and obviously I'm going in there vouching for something different. So obviously, everyone testifies. Taurus testifies. Even Caroline gets on the stand talking about absolutely nothing. So I don't really understand what their whole thing was, but like they did not come to court ready to fight. They came to court ready to try and prove a bunch of stuff that didn't matter. Like, this is not civil court. And what was focused on for some reason is the main focus in court was Melvin kept saying something about like, oh, well, I'm about to be fired from my job, and Taurus and Brittany have something to do with the fact that I'm getting fired from my job. Mind you, this case is about something completely separate. Everybody is confused. My lawyer's like, what is she talking about? The judge is like, what are you talking about? And she's basically like just keeps asking us, like, that's all she's worried about. She's not worried about my son. She's not worried about any of the other things we're in there for. Also, in court, they had said like, oh, like, I'm gonna have to move from the place that I'm currently living because my lease is up. And so, so everyone's like, okay, like, well, where's your new address? Oh, I don't have one yet. Okay, like, whatever. And, oh, okay, so it seems like you might lose your job. Like, do you have another job? Nope. Okay, cool. So court ends up, like, it was focused on so many other things other than what it needed to be. And I'm just happy, like, I had a good lawyer who, like, focused on what was important. So, boom, court goes as expected. The judge makes his judgment. And the next day, so we're good. We're happy. The next day, I'm out, and all of a sudden, I get a call like, yo, like, your ex is making and doing, like, some threatening stuff on TikTok. And I'm like, okay. So I get on there, and Melvin is in there talking about, oh, they got me fired from my job, and, whatever, and trust me, I'll figure it out, and, they have jobs, so I wonder what I'm going to do about that, so on and so forth. Now, mind you, I know a lot of y'all work. You can't just get fired from a job without cause. Like, whatever you did is simply your business, but like, take accountability. Don't blame anybody for your demise. Then they were on there saying, oh, and the reason that I got the new schedule that I got is because they're transphobic. Court system is transphobic, you know what I mean? Like, that is why. And like, mind you, anybody that's ever been in any type of court when it comes to their children, you not just losing time because the other person is like, you gotta have a reason. You gotta have a good reason. Now, at this point, we had already noticed some things, but Ashley's daughter, who is Caroline's daughter, ends up, she's older than my son, so she could talk a little bit better, and ends up telling us that, you know, Melvin and Caroline are in a relationship and that Melvin lives over there. Even to the point was calling Melvin daddy. Like, bruh, wild. Now, what's crazy about this is this person, a mother, sits in court and watches, sees the conditions that, and sees the testimony that we give, and also sees the testimony of the girlfriend, where she is saying, I do not trust this person around my child. I do think that they are not in a position to be a parent. They aren't doing what they're supposed to do, and they are unstable. Like, you're watching this as a person and you're just going along with it because you guys probably have heard about this. Narcissists have these people that ride down for them called flying monkeys. Now, flying monkeys, because they hate you, they believe everything a narcissist says. It doesn't matter how bad it is or what this narcissist is doing to you, they're okay with it because they want to believe so badly that you're this awful, terrible person. So at this point, Melvin is living and presumably dating Caroline, my girlfriend's ex-wife. Now, honestly, good on you. But it just proves that the scam is still alive and well. But honestly, they've kind of found the perfect person to scam, right? Because this person hates me just as much as they do. So it's just like perfect, right? They could both sit there and talk shit, and like they're okay with their relationship being like that. And like I said before, good on you. But I do want to point something out that I think is crazy that anybody would be willing to allow. Anybody that knows who I'm talking about can confirm that this person, Melvin, who is black, has only ever dated white women, mixed women, Asian women, anybody that looks different than they do. Because honestly, there's a lot of self-hatred in there, right? Like, this person hates women, they hated being a woman, and they hate themselves. Melvin has found him a dark-skinned woman that has everything that he needs as far as resources. So guess what? On to a new scam. This is going to be the last video. Hopefully nothing else happens. But I want to say this. I am so happy that I've done this. Like, my moms out there who are dealing with a narcissistic co-parent, I commend you. Never stop fighting. Never stop trying. And if you see people with narcissistic qualities, call them out. Leave them. Go away. Leave them where the fuck they're at. Try to use your intuition. Friends, if you see people that are, all of a sudden your friends are disappearing and they're dating somebody weird, fucking say something. Don't leave them in the dark. Like, try it. Try your best and keep going for them. We need community with each other to stop things like this.
She right.
Once again, I just have to thank you guys, because I was nervous that everyone was going to come at me and be like, how could you be so fucking stupid? But honestly, I have gotten so much grace from you guys, and that was a source of healing for me too, because I blame myself for being in this situation, and I sometimes forget that I was a victim in this situation, and I don't like calling myself a victim, but I was preyed upon, and I have to give myself grace, and I'm really thankful to everybody that's listened. Love you guys. Welcome to part 8 of
Oh, wow. Period. Well, you know what? I'm glad that she's validated. I'm glad that she shared her story, because more people need to share their stories, and people like that are definitely disgusting. And the more awareness that you have about it, the better you can make informed decisions when you're dating people. So hopefully you don't get married and have kids with them, because they're evil. But I am glad that she shared her story. Well, I guess we're done with this series. Y'all let me know what y'all thought.